Welcome back to another Mega Drive Hour. Today we're going to be playing a very interesting game, very special game. One of the most well-known games for the Sega Mega Drive. And the reason that this game is interesting is because in order to play this game, you need to combine two Sega Mega Drive cartridges together to create one game. And I'm sure that by now you already know what I'm talking about. And that game is, of course, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So without further ado, let's actually start playing the game. So, this is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and this is a very interesting game, because this is a game that does something that, as far as I know, really no other game has ever done, and that is, of course, lock-on technology. In order to play this game, you need to combine Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles together to create Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And so, just like how Sega had their own sort of PlayStation Plus / Xbox Live subscription service with the Sega channel, you know, which was sort of a service that you would subscribe to, and then you could kind of rent games through your phone line. Which is, you know, sort of like a very primitive, very early version of what nowadays is called PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold. Sega was also, I think, one of the first ones to have something that's like an expansion pack for one of their games. You know, nowadays, every game you buy has a shitload of downloadable content and map packs and you name it. But back in the 90s, this was kind of unheard of, you know, a game that you could plug into another game so that it would create a longer game, you know? Sonic 3 is a game that you can play separately. Sonic and Knuckles is a game that you can play separately. But if you combine the two, you create Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And so, in a way, Sonic and Knuckles is sort of an expansion pack to Sonic 3. Which, you know, for a console game, that was kind of insane. And nothing has ever been done before like that, and nothing has ever been done since with this so-called lock-on technology. But it was really interesting, you know. So let's actually start playing the game. You can save in this game, so I'm probably not going to beat it. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm probably not going to beat this game right now. But yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, one of the most intriguing games for various reasons. The first reason, of course, being lock-on technology. And the second being Michael Jackson's involvement with the soundtrack to Sonic 3 specifically, not Sonic and Knuckles. Alright, so we just saw Knuckles there, and even though he has a song where he says, unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle, the first thing that we see him do in this game is chuckle. So I'm not really sure what's up with that, but then again, I've never played any of the Sonic Adventure games, so I don't really know what the deal is with Knuckles in that game. So yeah, this is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, obviously. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't own this game when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I owned 2 Sonic games. They were Sonic 1 on the Sega Mega Drive and Sonic 1 on the Sega Master System. And I didn't own any other Sonic games. And so to me, Sonic 1 is kind of, you know, what I think of when I think of Sonic. And, you know, I didn't play Sonic 3 and Knuckles or Sonic 2 or Sonic CD or most of the other games until way later. I was aware that there were other Sonic games, but I just never played them. And so, when I finally played Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I really enjoyed these games. I think these are really fun games to play. But, in my opinion, I would say that the best Sonic game that I've ever played is Sonic CD. I think Sonic CD really is the best Sonic game that was ever created. Now, I don't think that's a very popular opinion to have, because I think most people will probably argue that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the best Sonic game. There we go, there was the special states. You know, so, I have a question for you, the viewer. What is your favorite Sonic game? What do you think the best Sonic game is? You know, I think a lot of people are gonna say either Sonic 3 and Knuckles or maybe Sonic 2. Some people might even say Sonic Mania, which I can all understand those things. But I would have to say it's probably Sonic CD. And the reason why I think Sonic CD is the best Sonic game is, as I've said, to me, sort of the purest form of Sonic that exists, that I, you know, the thing that I refer, the thing that I compare other Sonic games to is Sonic 1. And so, in my opinion, I would say that Sonic CD stays a little bit closer to Sonic 1 in its level design than Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 do. So what I'm trying to say is that in the approach that the creators of the game had to the level design, Sonic CD is more like Sonic 1, whereas Sonic 2 and 3 are a little bit different, but they're similar to each other. And the reason that I bring that up is that I kind of feel like Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles are the games where you can sort of see the beginnings of what would later become the automated segments that you sometimes see in modern Sonic games. Now, I don't really know a whole lot about modern Sonic games. You know, there's only like a few that I've played. Like I played Sonic Generations, I played Sonic Mania, and like that was it. So that is basically the extent of my knowledge of modern Sonic. I'm not good at this special stage. I'm pretty bad at this one, to be honest with you. Oh, whoops. There we go. But yeah, I would say that Sonic 3 and Knuckles, as well as Sonic 2, are kind of the games where you start seeing the origins of what would later become the automated segments in the later Sonic games. You know, I feel like in some of the more modern Sonic games, you have these on rails segments where you don't really do anything except hold a certain direction, and you jump maybe once in a while, and that's how you beat a level. And I kind of feel like Sonic 2 is the game where they first started introducing those kind of segments, where really all you do is you hold right, and then, you know, every once in a while you jump, and but Sonic really like plays the level on his own. He goes through all of these loops and things super fast, and he ends up at the end of the stage. But you don't really do anything to make that happen. I kind of feel like Sonic 2 and 3 and Knuckles are the games where that sort of approach to the level design started. Now, some people might say that the level design in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles is better than the level design in Sonic 1 and Sonic CD. But I gotta be honest with you, I kind of prefer the more open levels where you have a little bit more room to explore. And I know some people say that, well, you're not supposed to explore the levels in Sonic, that's not what Sonic is about, or something like that, but I would say that that I prefer the more exploration-based approach to the level design, like in Sonic CD. And really the reason why I think Sonic CD is the best Sonic game is because out of all of the other Sonic games, it reminds me the most of Sonic 1. And Sonic 1 is the one that I had when I was a kid. And so, you know, that is why I think that. But to you, the viewer, I would like to ask you, what is your favorite Sonic game? What is the Sonic game that you think is the best? And I'd love to know what you think. I think a lot of people are probably going to say that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the best Sonic game. But I would say that it's Sonic CD. But that's just my opinion, though. This is still a really good game, though. Like, all of the old Sonic games are pretty good. Except maybe Sonic 3D Flicky's Island and Sonic Spinball. Those are kind of debatable whether or not those are good games, but the other ones are all great. But yeah, I compare every Sonic game to Sonic 1, just because that is the one that I had when I was a kid. And I was aware that there was a Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, but I didn't own those games. And so, you know, I only like played them on an emulator or something for like 5 minutes back in the early 2000s, and that was it. So, for a very long time, the only Sonic that I was aware of was the first game, where you didn't have a spin dash, and I kind of feel like, yeah, basically the level design of Sonic CD and the overall feel of Sonic CD stays closer to Sonic 1 than Sonic 2 and 3 do, if that makes any sense. And so that is why I prefer CD, because, you know, to me, CD is basically a better version of Sonic 1. You know, it's Sonic 1, but it improves a lot of the things that needed to be improved from Sonic 1. So, whereas Sonic 2 and 3 and Knuckles kind of do their own thing. So yeah, I want you to leave a comment with what you think the best Sonic game is. And the first person who says Sonic 4 gets a free ban or whatever, because Sonic 4 sucks. Now I gotta be honest with you, I kind of suck at this special stage, so it really surprises me that I've already done these two special stages perfectly. Not sure what's up with that, but you know, I normally I suck at these. I'm not good at these. But yeah, I like, what Sonic CD also does that Sonic 2 and 3 and Knuckles change is, in Sonic CD, you can get good ending by doing the special stage. You know, and you don't need to know, you don't need to do anything else. And the way that you get to the special stage in Sonic CD, if I recall correctly, is you just jump into a big ring. But in Sonic 2, they changed it, and in order to get to the special stage in Sonic 2, you have to get to one of those checkpoints, one of those like signposts, and then jump into the ring that appears. How do you do this again? I'm not supposed to go here. Oh, here you go. I think this is where I'm supposed to be at. Yeah, there we go. Like, in Sonic 2, you have these rings. And in order to do the special stage, you have to jump into one of those rings. Whereas, I believe in Sonic CD, you just have to, like, jump into a ring at the end of the stage, right? Like in Sonic 1. But you can also get the good ending in Sonic CD in another way, and that is by going to the past of every stage, and then destroying a certain object. And that is how you can also do, also get the good ending in Sonic CD. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm not really sure how it works in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I think in Sonic 2 you have to do that like fake 3D stage, the special stage. You just have to jump into the ring that appears near a signpost, and then you get this sort of like fake 3D stage, and that is how you, I think, can get all of the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 2. Now in Sonic 3, I know that there's like Chaos Emeralds, but there's also, I think, Super Emeralds or something like that. And so you have to do the special stages twice or something. I'm not really sure what's up with that in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm not that familiar with this game, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think in Sonic CD, if I recall correctly, I might be wrong about this actually, but I think you just jump into a big ring at the end of the stage, like in Sonic 1. And then you just beat all of the special stages, which, in Sonic CD, the special stages are also in like fake 3D. They do the kind of Super Nintendo Mode 7 kind of thing. In Sonic CD. And you have to destroy the UFOs, and then if you do that you get the time stones, I think. And if you get all of those, then you can get the good ending. But you can also go back to the past parts of stages, and then destroy the Metal Sonic statue and some other like object. Because there's time travel in Sonic CD, in case you don't know. But yeah, I'll play Sonic CD at some point. Come on, get him, Knuckles, Tails. I'm sorry. Did I just call you Knuckles? Get him, Tails. Yeah, enough about Sonic CD. That's a fun game. I'll play it sometime on the stream because I do own a Sega Mega CD. There he is again. Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I rather flex my muscles. That's all I got. I never played Sonic Adventure, so those are the only lyrics to that song that I know. But yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is a very interesting game, as I've said, because it uses lock-on technology. And what happened was Sega went all out on Sonic 3, and they made a pretty big game. And then they found out that they couldn't fit the entire game onto the cartridge without, you know, like they could fit the game onto a cartridge, but then the cartridge would be really expensive to make. So that is why they said, hey, let's split up this game called Sonic 3 over 2 cartridges, and then you combine the two to get the full Sonic 3 experience. And so that is how Sonic and Knuckles was created, because Sonic and Knuckles is really just the second half of Sonic 3. You know, it was always intended to be one game. Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles was essentially always intended to just be Sonic 3, but they figured out that, you know, they couldn't really fit the whole game on one cartridge. So they said, well, let's split it up over 2 cartridges, and we'll call the other half of the game Sonic and Knuckles. And what's cool is that you can play both games separately. You can play Sonic 3 separately, and you can play Sonic and Knuckles separately. And yeah, I can't think of any other game that uses something like lock-on technology to become a bigger game, you know what I mean? But the way that it works, I think, is that when you lock on Sonic 3 to Sonic and Knuckles, then the levels from Sonic 3 get loaded into Sonic and Knuckles. So basically Sonic and Knuckles sees the levels from... Whoa, look at that slowdown. Look at that slowdown. This is the PAL version too, so it's extra slow. But yeah, Sonic and Knuckles basically, it looks at what kind of cartridge is attached to Sonic and Knuckles, and then if it sees the Sonic 3 levels, then it says, hey, these are the Sonic 3 levels, and then it loads all of the Sonic 3 assets into Sonic and Knuckles. And you can also lock on Sonic 2 to Sonic and Knuckles to create Knuckles in Sonic 2, which it's basically Sonic 2, except now you can play as Knuckles. Like, that's the entire thing. Whoa. And if you lock on Sonic and Knuckles to Sonic 1, then you get the entire Blue Sphere game. So, the way that this works is the blue sphere game is this. It's the bonus stage from Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3. But if you lock on a completely random cartridge to Sonic and Knuckles, you get to play a random blue sphere level, and that's the only thing that you get to play. But if you lock on Sonic 1 onto Sonic and Knuckles, you get every blue sphere level. It just unlocks all of them. And so you can play... I don't even know how many levels there are, but I think you can just play the blue sphere levels endlessly if you want. Yeah, and if you lock it onto Sonic 2, you get Knuckles in Sonic 2. So I think that's really cool how they figured that out. Of course, you can't lock it onto Sonic CD because how the fuck would you ever do that? It's a CD game. And locking it onto Sonic 3D doesn't really do anything, I don't think. It just gives you a blue sphere level. Yeah, that's basically how Sonic and Knuckles works. And if you've never seen a Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, a Sonic and Knuckles cartridge is kind of weird. It doesn't come in one of those nice plastic clamshell cases, like pretty much every other Sega Mega Drive game does. But Sonic and Knuckles comes in one of those shitty plastic Super Nintendo style boxes, you know, made of cardboard. And the reason for that is that Sonic and Knuckles has a weird cartridge. A weirdly shaped cartridge. No other Mega Drive game is shaped like Sonic and Knuckles. So yeah, Sonic and Knuckles has this little door that opens up on the cartridge, where, you know, it's sort of like a Game Genie, where you can you know, input another, you know, it's sort of like a Game Genie or like Super 3D Noah's Ark or one of those like unlicensed games, where on the top of the cartridge there is a slot for another cartridge. I'm about to die, I think, because I got no rings and I suck at this boss stage. So, but yeah, Sonic Knuckles has this little door that you open up, and then when you do that, oh fuck, I'm dead. Yep, I knew it. I never bothered to figure out the pattern of this boss, so I probably should have done that at some point. Like, I just kind of jump into this thing and then hope he dies. So let's focus for a moment. Stop talking about cartridges, but this isn't a very hard boss though, is it? Come on, I just need one fucking ring, come on. Nope. Oh, there we go. See, I told you this boss wasn't hard. So yeah, and one of the goofiest things that I've ever seen is a Sega Mega Drive attached to a Sega Mega CD, attached to a Sega 32X with Sonic 3 and Knuckles inserted, because it just becomes this like huge monster of a console. Unfortunately, you can't really You can't really like add the Master System converter into the mix or anything like that. But you might be able to input a Game Genie in there as well. But the Mega Drive just becomes this like big ass monster of a console. And it looks completely ridiculous, but that's why I love it. That's why I love the Sega Tower of Power, because of how ridiculous it is. Oh, there we go. So yeah, this game has great music. In case you haven't already noticed, I mean. But what Sonic game doesn't have great music, other than that Nintendo DS game? The Sonic Chronicles or whatever the fuck that was called. But that was made by Sega, so that doesn't really count. But I mean, pretty much every Sonic game that was actually made by Sega has really good fucking music. And for this game, and not Sonic and Knuckles, but only the Sonic 3 portion of the game, they got Michael Jackson to do some of the songs. And it was never really cleared up as to why he was never officially credited for the music. But some people figured it out that it sounded really similar to the kind of music that Michael Jackson used to make. And like that was like 10 years ago or something that people started to figure that out. I don't think we're ever gonna get like any official confirmation by Sega that Michael Jackson worked on this game, but I mean it's pretty obvious that he did. I mean, there's pictures of him at the you know, there's pictures of Michael Jackson with Sonic, believe it or not, at like the one of the development studios or whatever, Sega Technical Institute or whatever it's called, and the way that the story goes is that one day somebody just like asked Michael Jackson if he wanted to come by the studio or something like that. I'm not really sure how the story goes. Like either Michael wanted to see the next Sonic game, or somebody asked him if he wanted to see the next Sonic game, and so then he showed up at the Sega development studio, and then somebody asked him, "Hey, why don't you help us with music for this game?" And supposedly he made the Carnival Night Zone track, as well as let's see, Launch Base is another track that he supposedly made. And there was this guy that he worked with a lot called Brad Boxer, who did Ice Cap Zone, I believe. So there's a guy in Twitch chat who's saying, bro, why do you even play a dead game? The game you playing, oh no, it's you're playing, is gay. Gotta love Twitch chat. Thanks for your lovely comments. I will take them into consideration. And of course, your is misspelled. You gotta love Twitch chat, right? Not sure why you would go into a random Twitch channel and say that, you know? Like, if you don't care about this game, then don't watch. Very simple. But I get that you're trying to troll. Very funny. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Oh yeah, this is the level that has those like fake spiky things, right? That work as springs. Like in any other game, they're just spikes that kill you, but in this game, they work as springs. Alright, I gotta be honest with you, I don't like this thing. I'm not good at controlling this Beyblade thing here. But I don't think I need it right now. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm still going the right way. Oh, you can. I think you can kill yourself with these things if you like hit the ceiling or something. So, there we go. Yeah, these things are kind of weird to control because you know you have to walk left and right to control these things, and that makes them like go faster and slower, but also go up and down. Oh, oh, whoops. This game also got like an official PC release back in the 90s, I think. Which I never played, but apparently in that version of the game, they replaced a bunch of music. Oh wow. And supposedly those were the tracks that Michael Jackson had something to do with. You know? So that's interesting. I wonder if we're ever going to get like an official statement from Sega about that, but I don't think so. I did it again. I just walked right into it. Alright, be careful here. Oh yeah, that's the spring, of course. Some spikes are still spikes, and then some spikes are springs. Because fuck you, that's why. Wait, is this where I'm... No, I'm not supposed to go there, am I? I think I'm supposed to go... up here, right? Come on, leave me alone. Let's see. Alright, now what? Wait, where do I go now? I don't think I can... Oh, I'm supposed to go here, that's right. I'm not really that familiar with this level, to be honest with you. Like, I've played Sonic 3 and Knuckles before, but... not that often. Alright, here we go. So yeah, I'm not going to get all of the Chaos Emeralds or anything like that. I'm not going to get the good ending or whatever, but I don't really care, you know. I mean, I'm sure someone is going to say that if I do that, then I will have cheated not only the game, but also myself, and I will achieve a hollow victory or something like that, but... yeah, I don't really care. I just want to beat the game. I gotta be honest with you, this is not one of my favorite levels in any of the Sonic games, you know? This one's kind of, eh. Don't really care about this one. think I'm gonna quit after this boss fight, because I'm pretty sure it saves anyway, so I can always continue later on. I do want to see the rest of this game, of course, but I'm already going for like an hour, so this game is a lot longer than I think, you know. I thought this game was going to be a little bit shorter than it really is. Oh no. Yeah, once I beat this boss fight, then that's going to be the end, I think. This is a great game. I love this game. See, that's how you're supposed to do it. Really? Come on now. This isn't that hard. Come on. So there we go. That is, what is it? Marble Garden, I think? Ah, now we get the Carnival Night Zone. Yeah, this is, I think, a good moment to quit at Carnival Night Zone. So yeah, this is supposedly one of the tracks that Michael Jackson made. Kind of sounds like the song Jam by Michael Jackson. And I think this is a good moment to leave off and continue next week probably. So tune in next week for some more Sonic 3 Knuckles, where hopefully I'll beat this game. Can't believe I've already been streaming an hour and I'm only at Carnival Night. Like, this game really is a lot longer than I thought it was. So yeah, this is a really cool game. One of the best Sonic games ever made. One of the best Mega Drive games, period. Not my favorite Sonic game, because I would still prefer Sonic 1 and Sonic CD over this one. But yeah, tune in next week, probably, for more Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Knuckles, and Knuckles, and Knuckles.